Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is lecture number 2 of chemical bonding. In this lecture, we are going to study the Born-Haber cycle, valency bond theory, in which Hitler-London theory as well as Pauling-Slater theory, both the theories in which we are going to study in the valency bond theory. The Born-Haber cycle. As we know that the lattice energy of any ionic compound can be experimentally measured by Born-Haber cycle. It means that particularly in an ionic compound, which is by the exchange of electrons, by loss of an electron as well as gain of an electrons in an ionic compound, that is having the charges of the two different ions, the lattice energy of an ionic compound can be experimentally measured by Born-Haber cycle. It shows that interrelation between the lattice energy and thermochemical quantities of heat of vaporization, ionization, combination of ions, likewise. So here what is the lattice energy? Lattice energy is the energy change when one mole of a crystal is formed from its component ions in the gaseous state. Very simple. For example, here the formation of NaCl, here you can see here the formation of NaCl, which is a solid. How it can be formed? The NaCl can be formed by means of Na plus Cl minus. Here it is a NaCl which is involves the ionic bond formation is there. Where here you can say Na plus, that is in the gaseous form, Cl minus again it is in the ion form of the gaseous form. Here Na plus, how the Na plus is there? Means sodium element which lost the one electron, it forms into Na into Na plus. Again the Cl minus, that is Cl is accept the one electron form into the Cl minus, that is there is a gaseous form of these ions are there here. But what is the lattice energy when these two gaseous ions, that is Na plus and the Cl minus, get combined to form one mole of crystal? That energy change is known as the lattice energy. Here for the lattice energy of NaCl, here you can see minus 781 kilojoules per mole. Here the negative sign indicates the exothermic energy, means the energy is released here. Let us see the complete cycle of this formation of NaCl, that is Born-Haber cycle for the formation of NaCl. How? Here we can see Na is a solid plus Cl2, that is half Cl2 molecule is taken in the gaseous, it form into the NaCl as this solid. How? Initially this solid of this Na solid, which is of Na metal, on heat of sublimation form into Na, that is gaseous, and further with the help of the ionization energy, this Na gas which is lost one electron form into the Na plus. This is known as the ionization energy, means Na to Na plus. There is loss of an electron, that is removal of an electron from its octet, that is from its outermost shell, is known as the ionization energy, that is Na to Na plus, which is in the gaseous form. In the another side, here the for the chlorine molecule, here we can see Cl2, which is there is a requirement of only one Cl, that is Cl2, it is half of the molecule is taken of the chlorine, that is heat of dissociation. Once heat of dissociation is there, formed into Cl gas, that is one of a chlorine gas, and further this chlorine Cl gas is converted, form into the Cl minus by the accepting the one electron, that is known as the electron affinity. What is the electron affinity? That is amount of energy is released when extra electron is added into the outermost shell, that is the electron affinity. Here Cl gas is converted to the Cl minus by the accepting the electron. Here Na is converted to Na plus by the loss of an electron. These two ions of Na plus gas, Cl minus gas, they get combined, that is combination, to form, that is known as the lattice energy, if formed into the NaCl molecule. This is the where cycle. Initially Na is converted into the Na plus with the gaseous form. Here Cl2 Cl chlorine molecule is one chlorine molecule is converted into the half Cl, that is further Cl gas is converted into the Cl minus 1, that is by the electron affinity, and further these two gaseous ions of Na plus and Cl minus, they get combined to form a NaCl crystal molecule with the lattice energy with negative, that is minus 781 of the kilojoules per mole, which indicates the exothermic, that is loss of energy will be there. So what are the applications of Born-Haber cycle? Here we can calculate the energy. Here the energy can be calculated with the values of this lattice energy with different sublimation energy, dissociation energy, ionization energy, and the electron affinity. With all these, with the we can calculate the that is lattice energy. Likewise, it is also useful as a mean of analyzing and correlating the variation of the stability of various ionic compounds. It can be used to calculate any other quantity when all other quantities are known. It is also useful by knowing the nature of a bonding, whether it is ionic bond or the a covalent bond of the compound can be determined by with the help of the this Born-Haber cycle also. It can be used to check the calculated energies. So these are the some applications of Born-Haber cycle. With the help of we can see whether it is ionic compound or a covalent bond is there. Next is valence bond theory. This is very important for the formation of covalent molecules with the help of the different concepts, where the different covalent molecules here we can say in the different molecules, like where the formation of different combination of the molecules can be suggested with the help of certain theories, that is known as valence bond theory, also called as VBT. This theory is initially in 1927 put forward by the Hitler and London in 1927, is known as the valence bond theory. This theory first time gives an answer to the question how the hydrogen molecule is more stable than the two isolated hydrogen atoms, because of a certain assumptions are given on the basis of this Hitler and the London theory. The molecules they get combined to form into the covalent molecules. Let us have some assumptions one by one. The first is Hitler and London theory. What it states that only those valence atomic orbitals which have one unpaired electron can take part in the bonding. Very simple, means wherever there is a bonding is to be takes place, it must have an unpaired electron in an atomic orbital. There is a requirement is that at least one unpaired electron is necessary to take part in the bonding. Second, atomic orbitals containing unpaired electron with opposite spins can overlap with each other. This is also very important assumption, where suppose a formation of a two different bonding is there. Suppose an atom having the one unpaired electron, other atom having the one more of an electron of unpaired, but the both the electron must have the that is a different spins, means that is opposite spin. Likewise, if one of the atom is having the, let me consider any type, whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise, or whether it first molecule contains anti-clockwise, it may contains clockwise, but two different combining atomic orbitals with electron must contain the opposite spin can overlap with each other to form a molecules. Again, electrons get paired in the formation of a covalent bond, where the covalent bond formation is takes place only with the two different unpaired electrons, and they get paired. Once covalent bond is formed, that means unpaired electrons get the paired. The pairing of an electrons occurs by neutralization of the electron pairs, because spins become the opposite in the direction. As we know, as I told that, suppose here it is a one spin is there of one molecule, one electron is there, plus we are combining with the another electron, it forms the pairing is takes place. How the pairing can be likewise, means where it having the spins here, this is the one spin is there, this is a half spin, this is a half spin, both the half spin get it completely paired. When it is paired and the electron spin is neutralized, because there is a neutralization of the spinning can be takes place in the molecules. If the net result between the two ions is attraction, then the total energy of the system decreases and bonding takes place. Whenever the bonding is takes place, the total energy of the system is always decreases, because the net repulsion it becomes the that will become the zero. Hitler-London treatment does not consider for the formation of odd electron molecules such as H plus, where the no pairing. Further, it has certain limitations, and these limitations are it can be drawn by these limitations can be corrected with the help of the one more of the theory, that is here you can see Pauling's and Slater theory. Okay, in 1931 first, further the in 1931 again, here we seen the Hitler London in 1927. After 4 years, Hitler London theory was extended by Pauling and Slater in 1931 for the account of the directional properties of the covalent bond as well as the geometry of the molecules. With the help of the Pauling and Slater's theory, we will get the geometry of the molecules, where you can see the postulates of the Pauling Slater's theory, because this is only the extension of the Hitler and the London theory. Okay, here we can see The covalent bond is formed between two atoms by the overlapping atomic orbital of one atom with atomic orbital of the another atom. See, so how they can be covalent bond is there means here the overlapping can be takes place of one of the atomic orbital with the atomic orbital of the another atom. Then and only here the covalent bond is formed. It must contain the unpaired electron. Okay. Second, overlapping of two orbitals is possible only if each orbital has one unpaired electron. As I told that, this is means how the initially covalent bond is formed only in the atomic orbitals of one of the atomic orbitals. It can combine with the atomic orbital of another atom. But the atomic orbital, the overlapping atomic orbital must contain at least one unpaired electron. Here we can see here, that is one unpaired electron in their atomic orbitals. The atomic orbitals having same symmetry with respect to the molecular axis is only overlap to bond form. Means whenever the two atomic orbitals they get overlapping to each other, they must be in a molecular axis. Then and only it can form the possibility of a bond is there. Only the valence shell electron which have nearly the same energy can take part in the bonding. This is also very important postulate here by the Pauli's and Slater theory. Only the valence electron, suppose we having the nearly same energy, here should be at least same energy. It may not be possible with the different higher energy with the different of the atomic orbitals. So therefore, the valence electrons can be possible only with the same energy of the kinetic energy of the bonding. Next, the one more postulate here we can see complete overlapping of the two atomic orbitals, that is merging of the two atomic orbital is not possible due to the repulsion between the two nuclei. As we know that the whenever the atomic orbitals they get overlap, it must contain the centrally nucleus part. They can complete overlapping, that is merging is not possible because of the repulsion between the two nuclei. The overlapping of the orbitals increase the electron density in the region between two nuclei. The overlapping of atomic orbital increase electron density in the region between two nuclei and each electron free to move about the overlapping the orbital. Likewise, greater the overlapping of the two orbitals, stronger will be the bond. See, where the overlapping is takes place, the greater and the stronger will be the bond. It is very directly proportional to each other. The greater the overlapping, and the stronger will be the bond will be there. The number of bonds is equal to the number of unpaired electrons present in the atom. This is also what important. That is, number of bonds is equal to the number of unpaired electrons formed in the atom. Means present in the atom means number of unpaired electrons easily can form the same type of the bonds. That is, number of bonds can be formed. Suppose if two unpaired electrons are there, it is possibility of the two bonds can be formed. Since each atomic orbital has a particular direction in the space, therefore the covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of atomic orbitals also in the directional. Means it should must have a particular direction in the space. In the same direction, the overlapping of atomic orbitals can be possible. I hope you all are understand these concepts of the Born-Haber cycle and valency bond theory, in which Hitler-London as well as the Pauli's and Slater theory. So with this, I will stop here. Uh, if you like my video, please share my channel and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon button for latest upcoming videos. Thank you.